Hey everybody, it's Mark again. It's been a while since I did one of these videos. I didn't sleep that well last night because I didn't. I smoked a lot. And I got this big concrete pad. It used to be a milk barn that sat here. It's like 100 feet by 40 feet. But because of the cracks, mullein plant loves rocks. So I don't have to go look for this stuff anymore. I got some I put in that shed, and after it dried out, all the seeds got into these cracks. And so whenever I'm having breathing issues, I come out here and pick myself a plant. It's just one leaf. And here's some, the seeds are all in this thing right here. So what you want to do is you want to crumble them up and let nature take its course. Like I said, they love rocks. You could go to gravel roads, and I tell people this all the time. This stuff grows natural all throughout the United States. But you need to go where gravel roads, in the ditches where the county didn't cut the grass that well, and you will find this stuff in gravel roads. Now this is, it's November, I don't know, it's Thanksgiving's a few days away. This is what it looks like the first year, and then the second year it grows a stalk that has the seeds in it. It's a 2-year plant from my understanding. But I have it all throughout this concrete pad because A, it's got cracks in it, and B, they love rocks. Now, mullein plant has this hair-like fiber on it. And if you swallow it, I guarantee you're going to cough until you puke. I don't make a tea out of it anymore. Here's some that's growing. I bet you anything, if I was to dig this area up, it's going to have rocks in it. State of Missouri, one good thing that it grows is rocks. Yes, I was walking outside barefooted, and I got another video that explains why. But I got myself a half a pot of coffee on, and I'll explain that why here in a little bit. Like I said, I smoke a lot. I enjoy smoking. I'll sit here because I can't sleep. I'll get on Facebook, YouTube videos, whatever, and I'll smoke cigarette after cigarette. Now, a lot of people are going to think this is gross, so if you don't want to watch it, don't watch it. A balloon and a straw. And I got another video on this. Like I said, because I smoke, because I had 2 nose jobs while I was in the Air Force. I broke my nose when I was a little kid. Anyway, I wake up congested all the time. And watch. I can't hardly blow up that balloon. It's a mullein plant. And I got to go in the history of this. I don't know, maybe 8-9 years ago, I had a really bad sinus infection. I went to the VA, they gave me some crap, and it didn't work. And I had this sinus infection for about 4 or 5 months. My son is 25 now, and is probably when he was 16. I took him to a chiropractor in in Van Buren, and the chiropractor told me, you need to go out and get some mullein plant, and it'll take care of your congestion. At the time I was paying child support maintenance, I couldn't afford to buy it. My daughter went to the local place and it was too much money. And my mom's like, Mark, this stuff grows all over the place. I'm like, Mom, find me some. And she found me some. So I made a cup of coffee and I put cayenne pepper in this coffee. If you are, let's say you feel like you're getting sick, cayenne pepper and coffee will clear you up. Mullein plant, and I would suggest putting honey in it if you got honey. Um, making putting a couple of these leaves in it in your coffee. Make sure that you put it in a container because, like I said, these things got hair-like fibers on it, and if these hair-like fibers get in your throat, you're gonna cough until you throw up. What I do these days is I will treat this like snuff. It's in between my lips and my teeth. Take a drink, whatever you got available. Swish it around. Get that mullein plant wet. Take another drink. Within a couple of minutes, you're going to start breathing better. All of my children, my ex-wife, almost everybody that I know got COVID. Now, my middle daughter had COVID, and I took care of her for a week. And because I had trouble sleeping, but I was getting up early to make sure she was okay, make sure she was fed, make sure she had her medicine. Whenever she left, I was worn out, and I slept for like 2 days. Now, she says that I caught her COVID. I disagree. I was just worn out. And the reason why I just say that is because I smoke and because I know the health benefits of this little plant, I take it all the time. I got it grown outside my house. I have shipped it to people. You can find it all over the place. My buddy Ron Rosenkrantz, I've told him for like 3 years, Ron, try this plant. And he didn't like it. He didn't like the taste of it. And I've told people I would drink horse piss if I knew it was going to help me out. Anyway, he finally, he got COVID and he got the COVID shots. And from that, he had trouble sleeping because of the phlegm that was stuck in his throat. And for like 2 years, and he was trying to get a doctor's appointment because of the healthcare situation the way it is. He couldn't get a doctor's appointment. So finally he went to the health store and he bought some pills and some liquid and he's using that. Within 3 days, it was all gone. I tried keeping this stuff because I didn't have any growing on my property. I kept the stuff in bags and stuff. The dried up plant don't work as well as this green plant. And it grows, like I said, it's November. We've already had a frost and it's still growing. Let's try this again. It works. Now, a lot of people are going to say, well, Mark, you were not blowing in the straw. the first time around. I can tell you this stuff works. You just have to try it for yourself. Get back to the coffee. Do not take my word for it. Google this stuff. There's all kinds of websites that will tell you cayenne pepper in your coffee is going to help you out. It's going to help drain the congestion. It's going to help you feel better. When you start feeling sick, or if you're already sick with a cold or whatever, make yourself a hot cup of coffee, put some cayenne pepper in it, put some honey in it. If you got mullein plant, put some mullein plant in it. Going back to my original story, when I had this sinus infection and my mom found me this mullein plant, the very first cup of coffee I drank, I started breathing. And I was congested for 5 months. So I started drinking cayenne pepper in my coffee long before the mullein plant situation. And when I'm starting to feel sick, I didn't sleep that well last night. When I'm starting to feel sick, and I haven't been sick in a very long time. I mean, full-blown sick. Probably, I don't know when the last time I've been sick. It's been a long time. God put plants on this earth for us to use. All you have to do is use them. If you don't want to go look for mullein plant, go to your local health food store. My buddy Ron spent like less than $20 on capsules and a liquid. And like I said, 3 days later, his symptoms were gone. Now, he has since told me that he gets the symptoms back, but I asked him, I'm like, are you taking the mullein plant? And he's like, no, not faithfully. I'm like, well, take it faithfully and the symptoms will go away. I use this stuff all the time. Try it for yourself. It's a lot cheaper than going to the hospital or going to the doctor. And like I said, being a retired veteran, it don't cost me anything when I go to the VA. They gave me some stuff. Did not work. Mullein plant is what. Hey everybody, it's Mark again. And I have done a few videos on this wonderful plant. It's called mullein. These are the seeds, and that happens in the second year. This is what it looks like in the first year, and they love rocks. However, I haven't showed you how you can store them after you pick the leaves, and it lasts for a very long time. And there's some more mullein plant right here. There's some more mullein plant right there. This is a concrete pad on my property. It's about 100 feet by 40 feet. There used to be a milk barn here with those cracks. And that's where this stuff loves to grow. And there's some more right there. And so there's all kinds of medicinal uses for this plant, and I use it mainly for my sinus congestions. It's upper respiratory plant, but it's also used for gout. It's used for pain. You can Google it, and there's all kinds of medicinal uses for this. You could take a piece of plant, put it in your coffee or your tea. Don't swallow the plant. There's hair-like fibers, and it'll make you cough until you puke. You could also burn it like incense, and the smoke will clear your system up. You can roll it like a cigarette or a joint and smoke it, and that will clear your system up. Last year I had some growing along here. I don't this year. The seeds, and I let the seeds spread throughout my property. I don't have a green thumb, and they will go where they want to go to grow more plant. I tried planting it on my property, and it doesn't work. They want to grow where there's rocks. And if you take a country drive and drive on a gravel road, look for the stalks like I showed you with the seeds, but you will find plants around it. My son's friend, he's got all kinds of mullein plant on his property. And that's because Missouri is good about growing rocks. And there's one other plant that, well, the tornadoes took out these trees, but you can see there's mullein plant right there. And there's some right here. And if I was to dig this area up, I guarantee you there's going to be rocks underneath there, because that plant loves rocks. I've got a video where me and my middle sister go to this cave in Missouri in the Lake of the Ozarks called Bridal Cave. In the cliff of this cave, outside the cave, in the cliff, there's tons of this stuff growing, and that is in a rocky cliff. It loves rocks. So the other day, I picked a leaf and I brought it in my house. And this is the leaf. And it's been in my house for like 2 days. You see how it's drying up? So we were getting bad weather, and I didn't want to go outside when it was cold, because I'm 27 again and I don't like cold weather. So I went outside when it was warm, and I brought a piece of plant in the house. I actually pulled up a whole stalk to put it in this cooler. If you put this plant in a plastic bag, it's going to turn dry. It's going to dry up on you within a matter of a week, maybe 2 weeks at the most. And the dry plant, yeah, it's good for smoking it, but the green plant works a lot better. And I got a video that explains that. I'm going to take this outside so you can see it. This is the plant that I picked a couple days ago. It already had these dried leaves on. Everything else has been in this cooler for about 2 years. And look, if it was dried up, I wouldn't be able to pick this up. It would fall in flakes. I picked up some weeds when I picked that up. But this is what it would be if it was dried up. And that is still usable for medicinal purposes. So don't put your stuff in a bag. Don't put it in get a styrofoam cooler to put it in. Me and my daughter was on our way to Springfield a couple years ago, and I stopped off in Hunter, because there's a place on Hunter that I've been given permission to get on the people's property to pick all the mullein plant I want. Well, this is from 2 years ago. I forgot all about it. It's still good. This is what I just picked yesterday or day before. So anyway, get a styrofoam cooler. Your plant will last a very long time. Put it in a bag. It's going to dry up on you. It's going to mold in a plastic bag. I've had some do that before. So get a styrofoam cooler. By the way, mullein plant never growed on my property, and I've lived here since 2008. It's never grown on my property until a few years ago, back during COVID. I went out to Hunter, and I picked a bunch of it, and I put it in that shed, and I swept all the dried stuff up, because it didn't last that long. That spring, I swept it all up and swept it outside, and that's when mullein plants started growing on my property. Never did it prior to that. This stuff grows all over the United States, in almost every state. I don't think it grows in Alaska. I'd have to look at my book. But driving on a gravel road, driving the speed limit or less, you'll drive around and you will spot some within a few miles. This is just a half a mile from my house. There's a plant right there underneath that tree. And there's a whole cluster of it. That's the first year plant. Don't just take my YouTube videos. I'm a firm believer in this stuff. As I said this before, my mom died in 2018. Prior to my mom dying, probably 2016, I developed a really bad sinus infection. Being a veteran, I went to the VA. They gave me some medicine, and that didn't help. And I had this sinus infection for about 5 months. I took my son to a chiropractor appointment, and the chiropractor saw my issues, and she said, "Mark, go out and get some mullein plant." Well, I couldn't afford it at the time because I was paying child support and maintenance and bills, and so my mom found some for me. The very first cup of tea that I made out of it, I started breathing. Don't take my word for it. Research it for yourself. Pharmaceutical companies are not going to tell you this stuff works because it's going to hurt their business. But there's all kinds of YouTube videos on this plant. Now, there's none out in that field. However, you might be driving along and all of a sudden you'll see a crap load of it in an open field like that. And like I said, it loves rocks. And I bet if you dug underneath those plants, you would find all kinds of rocks. And the sad part about all this is the highway department, they'll mow it all down. It'll be growing just on the side of the road, and you go out there next week and they freshly mowed and it's all gone. So get it while you can. Put it in a styrofoam cooler. And that's why I mentioned the town of Hunter. There's an area out there that the guy that owns the land, he doesn't let the highway department mow his area, so that's why you'll find it all year long out in his area. And the only reason I'm driving up down this gravel road, and there's more mullein plant right next to that tree over there. The only reason I'm driving up down this gravel road is I just got through changing the oil in my truck, and so I'm driving around and then let it stop so I can check it to see if I need more oil. So in that 1.5 mile trip that I went down that gravel road, you saw all the mullein plant that I showed you. It grows all over the place. Go down a gravel road, grab your girlfriend, your husband, whatever, and do some back road driving, looking for mullein plant. Enjoy the day together, spending time searching for health benefit plants that don't cost you a thing, but time and a little bit of gas. I would also suggest, once you figure out the benefits of this plant and it's grown in your yard, put a stake around it. That way you don't mow it over. Because you're going to find that there's a lot of benefits, and I'm fixing to show you those when I go back in the house. There's another plant right there. This area right here has got a bunch of rocks in it. I know because I bulldozed them over. And last year there was 4 or 5 plants grown in this area, and they'll come back up this spring because I'm sure the seeds are in this area. And if you look close enough, you will see where either a house or a barn or something sat right here. There's remnants of the line, the foundation. You can see it better during the summertime when there's green grass. But that's why I say there's a lot of rocks in this area from that house. I didn't realize I was recording, and I lied to you. I just got through stepping off this concrete pad. It's 75 feet by 36 feet. I can't find my book on plants. I loaned it to somebody, and I don't know if I got it back yet or not. Anyway, you can Google benefits of mullein plant. Anti-inflammatory, expirant, antiseptic, antiviral, antioxidants, wound healing, pain relief. Mullein has been used in traditional medicines in Pakistan and Turkey. Is also available in health stores, and dried leaves and flowers, swallow capsules, alcohol extract, and flower oil. However, mullein can cause allergic reactions when taken in high dosage, and should not be used by pregnant, breastfeeding women or by people who are allergic to the plant. And you don't have to buy the stuff, go out and pick the stuff if you don't want it. You can go out and buy the stuff, but why would I want to buy stuff when I got it growing around here? And like I said, it grows all over the United States. And this is common mullein. As you can see, it grows all over the place. So just, again, take your girlfriend, your husband, your wife, your better half, go country road, back road driving. There's a Facebook group for Missouri. It's called Back Roads in Missouri. Go driving around, find some mullein plant. It'll help you out. Please leave me comments. give me a thumbs up, and may God bless each and every one of you.